start. Nick, are you there?
Yeah, I am for a couple of minutes, mate.
Okay, do you want to lead us off?
Yeah, thanks, mate. Richard, obviously an understatement to say disappointed with that after finally getting home.
Yep, very disappointed. Making the same mistakes that we made a few weeks ago, individual errors. You concede a late corner and you concede from it with not fantastic defending. So we keep talking about trying to eliminate these individual errors because as a team I think we're actually doing not too bad. I think we're actually progressing pretty well. We're playing some very good stuff. We're defending as a team very well. But at both ends of the park we aren't clinical. In and around the box we have chances and we don't put them away. And then on the back end we concede easy goals.
Yeah, I guess it's you're making a couple of chances. It's finishing them off as well, isn't it? That seems to be a bit of a problem.
Definitely. I think we are missing some firepower up there. And then once those guys came on, you could see that it changed a little bit. But at the same time, those guys that are in there have got to be more ruthless in front of goal. But at the moment, that's why we've got to use the whole squad, and that's part and parcel of football. But everybody has got to actually pull their weight and actually start to commit in the right areas and take chances. We've got to take chances in the final third, but we can't concede two simple goals. They were so simple today. That's not acceptable. That's simplicity of what they did to score goals. Not good enough.
Okay, George, anything? George, AAP?
Sorry. Yeah, there you go. Rich, I'm just wondering what was the situation with Benny going off?
Pulled his hip flexor.
Is it a serious one, or was that one more you just wanted to keep it on? Be careful.
No, it's a serious one. He said he couldn't continue.
Okay, fair enough. And mate, in terms of you just saying there, I think you mentioned maybe guys pulling their weight. Are they individual things, or is it collective, which is frustrating?
The collective, it's fantastic. As a collective, it's fantastic. It's individual. It's definitely individual. And that for me, we speak about standards in the group quite often, and that's an individual standard. At a corner, when it's your time to mark, your man doesn't score. So, the timing of the corner and the timing of the goal is game management, and, that's a collective. But then once that happens, we need to be accountable.
Okay, Erin, any questions?
Nothing from me, thanks.
Okay, we throw to the room in that case. Steve?
Richie, you're usually very positive. It's probably as frustrated as I've seen you as a coach. Do you take any positive out of it?
Definitely. I still feel that if we don't concede silly goals, we dominate that game and we create more chances. So the frustration stems from knowing that we are very close to being a lot better. There's signs there that we are controlling games, that we are manipulating the other team, that we are in complete control with and without the ball at times, and that grows belief. But then when you have little silly errors like that, which is something we're trying to stamp out, it changes the whole dynamic. So, I think today was a very winnable game. If we don't concede two silly goals, it's 0-0 and we're always a chance to score. And then we have players coming off the bench who can then go and create chances and score in the final minutes. You saw that once we started to push forward, we were on top. So we've got to nip that in the bud and make sure that not only the players hold themselves accountable, but they hold each other accountable.
Adelaide seem to do a pretty good job of shutting down Bruno. Is it just a matter of finding other attacking options?
Definitely. definitely. You saw at the end, once Pass came on, Adrian, Andy, all that have been struggling with injury. It was a different dynamic, and that's no disrespect to the guys that are actually playing. I think Clisby's doing a fantastic job. I think Fitzgerald, from where he's come, is doing a great job. Probably doesn't have a lot of match practice, and we're asking him to play back-to-back games. Daniel Steins is still learning the game, and is improving week to week. But when you don't have the quality of Sardinero, Keogh, and the pace of Pacific, it's it's something to build towards anyway.
What do you say to Daniel Steins when he squanders a chance like that?
Look, the fact that he's in the position is fantastic, but he's continuously getting those positions. He needs to start scoring, and that's part of his education as a player. That's part of his growth as a player, that he needs to start taking those chances to then go to the next level.
Richard, you're home now and you've got a week until you face your next task. Do you expect this next week at home, finally getting past the board and whatnot, big week this week? Do you expect the next week to be one of the more settled ones that you've had so far as a team this year?
Yeah, definitely will be more settled. We came in and literally got ready for the game and played, which is part and parcel of what we do anyway. So there's no great problem there. But yeah, it'll be good to get a week of training under our belt and focus on Central Coast. We've still got plenty of games. We need to start getting a run together. We need to start cutting out the small little mistakes, and then we can move forward from there.
And are those small sort of individual errors things that you can target to fix on the training ground? And if so, how do you do that?
Look, we're constantly talking to the guys about these things. And again, once they cross that white line, it's the decisions that they make and the standards that they hold for themselves. As far as the team set up, I think as a team we're growing every week. We're growing, you can tell with the amount of possession we had today, and the chances we create. We're creating good chances. We're pressing in a good state as well. We're actually pinching the ball high up and getting chances, and we're not taking them. So as far as we're holding people accountable for goals, we've also got to hold ourselves accountable for not taking chances, because I thought we had enough chances to be able to score 2 or 3 today, and we only scored 1 from a penalty spot. So that's something that needs to be improved on.
Will you look at that run of home games last year where you got 4 wins and a draw, I think, in 5 games, as a sort of run to really charge the team up and say, we might be in this position on the ladder now, but you can see how quickly the points can accrue when you're on a run at home like this?
Look, I think for us, again, it's about us improving. There are signs there that we can be a lot better and we can actually dominate games, but we've got to cut out the small little errors. That really for me is where we need to head to, and then the results come. Today if we cut out those simple errors, we stay in the game, we score a goal. So that's the difference between winning and losing, really, those little small errors.
Ash?
Richie, just with you touching base with Steins, do you think that because he was creating those chances in the first half, do you think that if you did leave him on for a little bit longer, that he would have followed up with a goal if you had the time?
Look, I felt he was probably a little bit spent energy-wise, and when you've got Keogh, Sardinero, and Pacific on the bench ready to go, you want to try and get those guys on the park. They've got the experience, they've got the finishing capabilities of experienced players. So, look, being able to ease them in and get them game time as well to hopefully then build up to a full 90 minutes is valuable. We need those guys to be fit and ready to go over the next few weeks, because there's going to be a lot of games and they're going to have to play big parts in games, and the firepower that they bring to the team.
And with the return of the home game, do you think that, added to the loss, do you think the players felt a bit of pressure coming home that they needed to perform?
I wouldn't have thought so. I felt like the guys were in good spirits and actually were desperate to perform in front of the home crowd. And I thought, to be honest, the first half we looked in total control, and then you can see last minute before the break, I think we had 7-8 corners over their 1 or 2, and they score from 1. So that's the difference in football.
And lastly from me, the individuals that I guess you're pulling out the faults in during this game, is that mostly coming from the defenders then?
No, it's coming from both. It's coming from both. I mean, we've got to be just as effective going forward as we are defending, you know. But if you eliminate some of those individual errors, you have more of a chance to take the chances that you are creating. So, you know, when we create so many chances, we need to take one, yes, definitely, but we've got to have a solid base to build off, which is a clean sheet.
Okay. Any further questions, guys, on Zoom? Or we hold it there? No, all good?
Okay, thanks.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, everyone.